Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to I Like Me, a channel dedicated to discussing and exploring things that really matter around health and well-being, talking to many people about the healing modalities that are out there and what can create some significant change. Today is a dear, sweet sister Lyndz joining me, and we're just going to have a chat about a few things. She's a very, very interesting lady. Um, we have known each other for a few years now, actually, and bumped into each other on many different festival circuit scenes. She's a sweet, sweet
Mm.
woman with a beautiful angelic voice and loves to support people in finding their voice expression. So, hi, Lyndz, how are you doing?
Hey, love. Yeah, I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me here. Beautiful to
Pleasure,
be with you.
pleasure,
Hmm.
pleasure.
Just,
So,
yeah, give heads up that there will be bird sound and a possible person walking past, but yeah,
life on the land.
life on the land. Mm.
Which actually leads quite nicely into life on the land. We had a brief conversation before, and we were talking about singing. So I know that singing is a huge passion of yours, in terms of using your own voice, encouraging other people to find theirs, to discover
Mm.
their authentic notes, their authentic voice. And you also mentioned land singing. So how about we start there in terms of your discoveries with what that means to you at the moment?
Mm. Oh, where to start? Yeah, I think it's been one of the most potent parts of my journey, actually. Many directions that I've gone in life have had a really clear direction of what I want to do. But with the voice, it's been a very different journey. It's really been a very slow journey and a really deep inquiry, in discovery. And a big part of that has been, yeah, the reconnection to nature and how needed in these times it is for us to sing and to sing to the land. But not only just that, like how we sing to the land and how we sing ourselves, because for so many of us we've been taught to sing structured, in schools with hymns, with a very unnatural flow of what it is we want to express, which is not what nature represents and shows us all around, the diversity of how we express. And yeah, so the singing to the land is something that's really passionate for me and has been a huge part of my healing. um yeah, walking on the land, walking the pilgrimage that I did a couple of years ago from Norfolk to Cornwall, it led me here. It led me to Cornwall, to Land's End. And the spirit of the land is very strong down here, and people still sing. You still have festivals in the streets where the children, the teenagers are dancing and singing and happily proud to be doing that. It's such a, yeah, it's something that hasn't been disconnected down here. So I feel that's very much why I'm here, but also to spread that far and wide as well. Um, but ultimately, when we sing, we're connecting back to the grid, back to our earth-born place, and it's a very powerful thing to do in these times and needed. There's so
Mm.
much that you can go into in all these song lines and the ways in which the ancient wisdoms have been so like connected to these channels. Yeah. So yeah,
Mm.
like I said, there's so many directions you can go in this. But it's for me, it's needed. It's a
Mm.
like the time is now. Let's sing and let's learn how to sing and let's learn how
Mm.
to sing in free expression. That's
Mm.
something that I'm really feeling embodied to bring. I've got this, I keep looking up here, I've got this little like insect just flying right above, like this hoverfly that's recording up here. It's like, what? Hello.
And the tree is also kissing you every now and again. It's like, hello, Lindsay. Hello.
Patting me on the head.
No, that's really beautiful. Thank you for explaining. So, for those that perhaps aren't in tune with their own voices, or just perhaps have forgotten how to sing, or were told, there's so many of us as children I've
Mm,
spoken to were told you can't sing,
mm,
or various things. I was actually in a choir, and I had that sort of structured
mm,
route of teaching, which I'm thankful for in some ways, but it has been quite a journey to lose that perfectionist that wants to get the right note all the time and just sing whatever wants to come through. So what would be a bit of advice for those that are perhaps feeling, you know, they've got a voice, or perhaps they feel they don't have a voice, but they're feeling that call to just express, not just in singing, but also, you know, because I think what I've noticed is the more I express on my, you know, my authenticness on a day-to-day basis, the more powerful my singing voice becomes, you know, and it's just an interesting connection there. So what would you say to those who are perhaps, you know, wanting to come out of their shells with regards to singing, and what tips could you give?
Yeah, I think I mean, it's this, isn't it? It's like the throat chakra that has very much been blocked. So it's about the singing, but singing is a big part of it. But actually, for me, being seen, yeah, really feeling seen was probably the unlocking of everything that gave me, you know, to be like, okay, let's go, let's see where we can go with this. It's so my advice would be to, I think with anything, if you want something, if you feel there's that niche there that you see you want to explore, then just ask whatever it is that you connect to in this life. And even if you don't connect to anything, just ask Great Spirit, ask the God within, whatever you feel called to, and ask for that guidance, and it'll come. You know, I was very much living where I didn't feel like any of my tribe were around me until something in me switched, and then I opened my eyes and there's like tribe everywhere. It's literally that. I think just asking and giving yourself that permission to drop into these happening everywhere. They really are happening everywhere. And yeah, I've been traveling very much of the world for a long time, for many years, and it's, yeah, there's a lot happening.
There's
Very
loads of
good.
little things popping up. I mean, you know, more things that were considered alternative years ago are now becoming mainstream, which is just a joy, really,
Mm.
and a
Mm-mm.
joy to be around. So yeah, so just being seen, that's interesting, isn't it? That kind of concept of not hiding oneself away, and recognizing
Mm.
that your voice matters. Actually,
Mm.
everyone's voice matters, and there are stories to be told, and things to be shared, and things to be laughed at and cried at, you know, cried over, and all is okay, actually. And the more you are seen, the more you feel you can, yeah, put yourself out there a little bit. And I like that. I like that.
Mm.
Because I know that you've been
Mm.
involved in is it voice activation workshops? Is that how you would term it? We went to a festival last year, didn't we? Back to the Roots Festival,
Mm.
which is going to be in Beaconsfield this year, I believe. And
Get back to the roots, check it out if you haven't already.
yeah,
It's a
exactly. And
beautiful festival.
I just
Yeah.
happened to be walking past you. It was divine timing, actually, because I didn't know that you were doing a workshop at that point. I just heard singing and thought, oh, I'll go have a little wander over there, as you do. And there you
As you
are
do.
in all your angelic glory. Yeah. So what happens in those workshops?
Yeah, the power of the festival is the collective as well, because so many people coming together, and when you really sing from here, sing from this heart, and allow the heart to pour this nectar out, it's such a rich experience that even if you're not embodied that, and in that you feel it, because we really are all this like symbiotic world of two-legged beings, and when you're really in these festival containers, it's powerful.
Mm.
And yeah, when that vocal activation is happening together, it's, yeah, it's very strong for many. So yeah, the voice done one to one, it can be done in groups, it can be done in festivals. It does vary in how um and you know, for me, something I'm really passionate here is the sangha, the heart song sangha that's building. We've got a beautiful circle that's held every week, and we come into this devotional space of song, the body to go go into places and actually recognize that, almost like the guitar. So like the guitar string is our voice, and the guitar body is what brings that sound. And it's the same with us. You know, it's actually using this body to sing. And when we do that in toning together, it's, yeah, it's very liberating to explore different parts of our being. Yeah, and then
Excellent.
in that. that can unlock a lot as well. I had some very
Mm,
profound experiences through
mm,
toning practice when I was
mm,
in Guatemala. It's been a big part of my healing. Yeah.
mm. Yeah, it
Mm.
is, and that kind of makes me think of sound and frequency, and you know, the effect, the ripple effect of you know, those changes within, and where that kind of emanates out to, you know, I kind of get that sort of sense, especially from the workshop of Back to the Roots. You know, people were buzzing
Mm.
afterwards. There was a lot of connection that was happening. Women that didn't,
Mm.
you know, hadn't known each other beforehand were suddenly singing with each other and to each other, and it just
Mm.
created this extra web of connectivity, which then
Mhm.
just carries on, doesn't it? So would you say,
Mhm.
in terms of like sound and frequencies and things like that, what, you know, if somebody, for example, is just, you know, coming to this from an angle where they don't really, you know, they're new to discovering sound and frequency and
Mm.
voice and all that sort of stuff, what would you think would be the best suggestion to help them not unlock what they've got, but just to play? Like, how could they do that?
How could they play with the sound within
How
in the
could they play with
bathtub?
the sound within? Yeah. Yeah. You know, are there some vocal exercises? Are there, you know, is there looking in, you know, I'm just thinking like, would one look in the mirror and just start singing to oneself, or, you know?
Yeah, for me, it's the explorativeness. It's kind of like the same in which we've been taught through the chakras that there's specific tones to each chakra. Actually, I feel much more resonant with this play of whatever sound is wherever, and actually get to know your body. So rather than me tell you this is what you do, go play. And I can give that guidance. But like I say, to sing in the bath is one of the most beautiful things, to actually immerse your ears in the water. Obviously not your face as well, unless that's your vibe. um and to tone and start playing, because you really
Mm,
hear a different part of your voice, and you hear it in your body as well. It's and the car, like for those of us that are blessed with these four-wheeled vehicles, that we can really sing our hearts out, and actually go to places where we might not feel safe to in our home, or when we've got neighbors, or it's really finding that safe place to explore. And we know all our vowel sounds, and just play with that, just play through the vowels, and yeah, allow them to go into r's, oohs, the i's, e's, and yeah, just
mm,
really
mm,
explore the resonance of the sound that comes, yeah, through your body, out of your voice.
mm. Great tips, great tips. And it's almost like, you know, when people
Mm.
start dancing consciously without alcohol or substances, for example, you kind of have
Mm.
to get over yourself, don't you, to kind of, or
Mhm.
just, you know, it's about, you know, going beyond the
Mm.
egoic need to kind of
Mhm.
control what's happening and do it a certain way and just freestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Freestyle.
that's what we're unlocking, and that's what I mean about the whole being safe, being safe to be seen. It definitely wasn't my path, and I was terrified to talk in a circle, let alone to sing in a circle.
Mm.
With the circles where there was a talking stick passed around, I was always the one that would just pass it. In the early days, it was like just locked up, and then later on, I'd be thinking about what I'm going to say, and then I'd say it, and it wouldn't like make any sense at all. Just this, yeah, this unlocking, yeah, through being seen and knowing that I'm safe. I think it's
Mm.
one of the biggest medicines for us all to, yeah, to really hold each other. And
Mm.
like when I'm out and about, if a song's there and I'm with someone, I'll just sing it now. It felt awkward at the beginning just to sing to someone when you're in their company, but it's so beautiful. And like we talk so much. Let's sing a bit more, a lot more. Sing to each other. I mean, we sing to each other all the time, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's just how we know each other. I
yeah,
think our first meeting was sat on the grass outside our beautiful sister's Kaz's house, just singing a bit of Nessie Gomez, maybe. I can't remember. It's just beautiful, like, how
yeah.
song connects so many of us in a way that this worded language doesn't.
Yeah, for sure. And I can totally relate. Like, I find someone will say something and it will trigger a lyric in my head of a song I've heard, and I'll just sing it out, like, because it's
Mm.
just connecting to
Mm.
what they're saying. But the lyric comes and it causes quite, for me, it causes a lot of merriment because I feel like a walking jukebox. Do you know what I mean? La la.
Hey, it's
But I
always
can't
such a
help it.
joy
It
to
pops
hear
in
your
and it
voice.
just wants to come out. Like, it just happens.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mm.
Kaz and I do that quite a lot, as well as accents, but you know, more often
Oh,
it's
it's great to
song
hear.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful.
Mm.
So you touched briefly on your pilgrimage from Norfolk to Land's End. Like, how did
Mm.
that come about, if I may ask?
Um, yeah, I mean, it's quite a difficult one to encapsulate, but the reason for the pilgrimage was to deepen my connection to Mary, to all the Marys. Um,
Mm,
yeah, and to the water and the waters of these lands. Because the Mary line very much traverses the waterways down, whereas the Michael line, which works with the Mary and actually crosses at many nodes, works much more on the higher points. So yeah, it was a big part of why the pilgrimage came about for me, and much of this path I walk is in trust. Um, yeah, and I'm still leaning into that all the time. And I live in beautiful paradise right now, and it's because of that, just letting go. And I was only just talking earlier, it was about 2 weeks before my pilgrimage that I just knew I had to let go of where I was living, and mad frenzied packing down of like 6 years of living in this beautiful space on the river, and I just knew I had to do that. And that's what opened up space for me to come to Cornwall. um so but actually, yes, it connected me deeper to Mary. And yeah, I'm off to France in a week to work deeper again. With some beautiful sisters. But actually, with every pilgrimage, it's really about the journey, not the destination as well, like deeply. um yeah, and the people you meet, and the experiences along the way, that yeah.
mm, mm,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah, I could go into a lot.
Yeah, it's a quite a profound thing. I remember taking those steps and being with you
Mm,
in my heart and thinking this
mm,
is going to be quite transformational for you. Yeah, for sure.
and the unlocking of the fears. There's so many fears that come with that lone journey, and you carry them all in your backpack. It's so true. Your backpack is so light at the end. At the beginning, you're like loaded down. You're like, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. It's so true. Yeah, you just become this walking light beacon at the end. I mean, maybe some don't, I don't know, but many people I've spoken to, that is
Mm,
the path. And yeah, actually, talking of back to the roots, our beloved sister Estella and her daughter Lily are actually walking um the I believe it's the Camino in Portugal,
mhm.
for the next 2 weeks, I think 2, 3 weeks. um yeah, and she's already got blisters going on, and yeah, yeah. So let's really big up back to the roots. Let's send a link actually for people to come to this festival that
For
Estella's
sure.
putting together. It's really a potent gathering, and it's all done very consciously with
Mm,
community in mind.
mm,
The whole
mm,
festival is about that. It's kind of like
mm,
festival doesn't really do it justice at all. It's a very conscious gathering of beautiful souls to really help each other shine, and have fun and bring joy.
mm.
Yeah.
It felt last year, I mean, last year was my first year going, and it just
Mm,
was such a celebration of life. Everywhere I
mm,
turned, there was some sort of
mm,
pocket of, like you say, joy that was happening, and the experience was
mm,
quite deeply profound, actually. So
mm,
it's going to be, yeah, quite an honour to supporting it behind the scenes this year a little bit, and obviously going
mm.
this year. But yeah, we will definitely pop a link in
What
the
are you doing, Jules?
I'm going to be supporting the coordination of volunteers, probably going to be having a TP there, doing some hypnotherapy, some really deep transformational journey with the subconscious mind, some healing. And I will be having my guitar with me. So no doubt I will see you at some point and we can just have a gig.
Mm,
And also going to be collaborating with Anna around the fire to do
mm,
sort of like singing our stories, not a workshop, but like an offering, which is I won't disclose too much information at the moment, but it's something that's brewing, and
yeah. Mm.
it's going to be really beautiful and joyful, and all of that jazz that we love to express and experience.
Yahoo!
But it's interesting you saying about, you knew you had to pack up, your boat. You knew you had
Mm.
to pack things up. And I think for me, it feels more, especially with all the sisters I'm talking to at the moment, there's just this high level of intuition and trust and
Mm.
surrendering to the guidance that's coming in around how to move, you know, when
Mm.
to move. And I feel it's such a shift actually in
Mm.
from the old ways of trying to control things and be very measured. And it's kind of what that for me is going out the window. You know, it's very
Mhm.
much, well, oh, the body's moving here. Oh, right, we're going over here. Oh, right. And like, you know, the mind's trying to catch up with the movement that's just coming, because there
Mm.
is a greater wisdom I feel that we can all tap into, which is
Mm.
innate to us. You know, we're born with it. Children have this oozing out of their
Mm.
pores, you know, and with some along the way of conditioning and you know, environmental experiences, you know, we lose it sometimes. And
Mm.
a lot of us are trying to rediscover that within ourselves, you know, that intuition and that trust and that, you know, knowing when to say no and knowing when to
Mm.
say yes. You know, it's really important part
Mm.
of living authentically
Mm.
with yourself and others actually.
Mhm.
What got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's built in. It's built in, and like you say, it's retuning back into that. Um, and it's our flow state. That's what I really feel from it. And when I've traveled different lands, and I'm very, the nomadic life as well, when you're very much in that like moving pace without so much rigidity, then so many synchronicities align. There's so many synchronicities that just blow your mind, and it's almost like this kind of my experience anyway, this staticness of not moving can kind of like lose that little sparkle of magic a little bit.
Mm,
And I really appreciate, that I don't have children and I don't have this commitment to be held in one space. But I think even in that, there's ways in which we can find movement, and keep that flow state going to really allow this magic to be unpacked. Because it really does feel like it is something that's very strong in these times.
mm,
Because it's almost like these I've always like spoken into it as this what we've grown up with, this kind of like false representation of the masculine and feminine, almost to the point of like toxicity, toxic masculine feminine path. And yeah, I don't know if that explains that, but it's really when we can come from that much purer place, and that's when we're really aligned with what we're here to do and what we're here to be. And sometimes it is just that, it's just being. I mean, sometimes that the solutions to so much in life are the simplest teachings.
mm,
And yeah, we just find them so difficult sometimes to uncrack and navigate. um yeah.
yeah. Being and spontaneous, you know, some spontaneously experiencing. So I think that is one of the key things as well, to just shaking off, you know, the old. I mean, I was cooking in the kitchen the other night, and I just thought, oh, you know what, I just want to dance while I cook, you know. You just kind of waiting for the rice to boil, and I thought I'll just stick some tunes on. And I ended up putting on something quite bassy, and then the next thing I know, there's a little gathering, so they all three of them sort of end up traversing down into the kitchen, and we end up having this little disco rave in the kitchen. You know, eldest one's putting on his bassy tunes, and I was like, yeah, that's a remix of something I use it, you know. And you know, if
Ah,
and what I recognize as well from that is that, you know, if we are free
mm,
to move in the way that we move, you know, our environment can only really reflect that back to us. And
mhm,
our ability to be free and authentic and honor ourselves also means that we do that for others. um, and just
mm,
such beautiful things come
mm,
from that, don't they?
mm,
Such wonderful creation comes from that, and fun.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yoo-hoo. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Woo!
yeah, fun, fun, fun. Oh yeah, let's have more fun, more
So
fun.
speaking of
More
fun,
fun.
where's your guitar? Because I know it's around there somewhere. And is it in tune?
But likely not. It's kind of, yeah, it's part of my this offering that this one is here to bring is an untuned guitar quite often. But also part of what I really feel quite passionate for is letting go of this perfection as well. And I appreciate, you know, tuned guitars sound good. But it's being okay with, you know, the what we know as the mess and, you know, the ugly sounds. Um, I'm really passionate for that, you know, like a lot of the song circles that I hold, I'm like, really, all is welcome. All is
Mm,
welcome.
mm,
You know, if it
mm,
wants to come out and if it feels like it's a part of the circle, then yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. Well, this is
So
it. And that, you know, we do experience polarities here on Earth, don't we?
mm,
And actually, I find that if we're leaning more towards one polarity than the other, i.e., the light over the dark, then that's out of balance. So to be with it all and to be okay
mm,
with the in-tuneness and the out-tuneness is just being a part of the experience of what it is, you know?
I do.
So I want to hear these chords that you've that came to you, and let's see how this takes off.
Yeah, so this is it literally just came in this morning. It's just a little um lots of them are coming in at the moment, just these little earworms, which are these little songs or little melodies, little things that come in that are just very short and sweet and helpful in your day, you know. And I think, yeah, yeah, I won't go into that too much, but it's this one that came in for me was what we've been talking into, you know, this kind of this deep wisdom that is in us all, and we know it all, like we have it all in, and we just need to find ways to unlock it and things that can really support us in trusting ourselves to dive a little bit deeper to
Mm,
yeah allow this intuition and this knowing to be
mm,
free.
mm.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a simple one. So do sing along, and yeah, love to hear your voice too. I don't know how it works. I've got a lot of room here. Hmm. What do you need to help you know? What do you need to help you grow? What do you need to help you grow into what you already know? Hmm. What do you need to help you know? What do you need to help you grow? What do you need to help you grow into what you already know? So we can then add unconditional love will help me know. Unconditional love will help me grow. Unconditional love will help me grow into what I already know.
Beautiful.
Hmm. So drop us something in there, Jules, a word of what can help.
Passion.
Woo! Passion is what we need to help us know. Passion's what we need to help us grow. Passion's what we need to help us grow into what we already know. Yeah, I wonder if I play the guitar and if you sing that, love, or something of those.
I shall try.
Mm.
Can you come a bit
We can
closer
sing
to
together.
the could you come a bit, could you maybe turn the volume up on the thing or come a bit closer with the guitar? Have you got any space to do that? Just so we can hear the
Can you
chord.
not hear it?
I can a little
Oh,
bit, but yeah.
yeah, I don't play very loud. So yeah, or we can. I don't know if we can sing together on this, can we? It doesn't work. So yeah, I'll just play louder.
Maybe take one round away again so I can hear the melody, so I can let it land.
Mm. Yeah, quite an expectation on you, isn't it?
I mean,
Sorry,
come
love.
on. I mean, I know I'm great, but
What do you need to help you know? What do you need to help you grow? What do you need to help you grow into what you already know?
what word do you want to bring in?
Mm. Listening to the beats, what I need to know. Listening to the beats will help me grow. Listening to the beats will help me grow into what I already know.
Mm. Beautiful, beautiful. Mm. Mm.
I think it's in that that's what I was sitting with this morning, this journey actually of feeling okay with this word need as well. It's been quite an interesting one, that one. But really feeling like owning that word. Okay, I need this right now, and it's okay, because the word need, it can be, like neediness, and it can be deemed quite a, yeah, just quite a heavy, difficult word, especially for us women that really, yeah, really need this connection. And so that's what I was really feeling into, and just knowing that it's all in here. It's all in here.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
So that could be another one. Being okay to need.
Mm.
Being
Mm.
okay to need is what I forget the
I
words.
need to help me know, being
No.
okay to need will help me grow. Being
Being
okay
okay
to
to
need
need is
will
what
help me
me
grow.
grow into what I already know.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm, mm, mm.
Choosing to express, that's another one.
Mhm. Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
yeah. You could just, this is
mm.
endless, isn't it, really? Earworms. I love this, what you've introduced to me today.
Oh, all the earworms are so welcome. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful.
Mhm.
Well, Lyndz, it's been an absolute always pleasure to hang and
Mm.
spend some time in your company. And
Mm.
there's, the summer season's obviously approaching. I know I'm going to see you in
Mm.
from some fields
Ah,
at various points.
come and blast me one of those hugs like you did it. All About Love, I think it was. That was a good one. Jules came up behind me and just blasted me, and these tears were like Tom and Jerry. It's like, I just felt the love so big.
Yeah, well, that's Nessie Gomez. She brings, she has an
Yeah.
opportunity to, yeah, that's that vibe. And I was just like, there's one of my
Mm,
sisters. Got to go and love bomb her. Is that what you said? It was a love bomb.
mm.
That's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Beautiful time. So, just to thank you, sweetheart, again for your time and energy and your offerings
And
and what
you
you
for all
bring
you're
to the world.
bringing.
Sorry?
Mm. And you for all you're bringing. Yeah,
Oh,
really. Yeah.
thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, we've got some
Mm.
beautiful gifts, which it feels like it's time to share, isn't it? It's time to share and
Time
to
to shine, baby. Time to shine.
and you do it so well. So
Oh.
yeah, beautiful.
Mm.
Oh, all right, sister. Well, speak to you soon,
Love
and
angels.
enjoy
Mhm.
the rest of that sunshine and the all the
Yeah.
land and the nature and everything that brings.
Mm. Mm.